Bandai Namco created one of the greatest and most underrated Pokemon games known as New Pokemon Snap. It featured hundreds of different Pokemon in several different islands, with thousands of different unique animations. The map featured 6 different islands known as Florio, Belesluva, Voluca, Maracopia, Doris and Aurorus. Most islands had at least one different area to explore, whether it was during the daytime, evening or at night, and each area, depending on the time of day, had different animated outcomes which were dependent on how you interacted with the overworld Pokemon. So for example, a specific Pokemon or animation wouldn't appear unless you interacted with a certain Pokemon prior to that encounter. One of my favourite examples of this is the Blastoise and Squirtle animation, where in order to awaken Blastoise, you had to ensure Squirtle dropped into the water. This was done by hitting an apple on his head, followed by hitting the centre of the whirlpool with orbs. Blastoise would then rescue the Squirtle from drowning, and fly off like a turbo jet. These animations were incredible, and there were literally hundreds of them, so you could end up playing the game for hours on end without realising, just trying to capture the best photos you possibly could. And that's what made this game great. Because it didn't just feel like a one-off mission, where once the photos were taken it was game over. It felt like more of an experience rather than a mission. It was like you got to see how Pokemon were and how they acted behind the scenes in their natural habitat, doing things you wouldn't normally see them do. Islands contained secret pathways where you had a choice to pick between different paths, and that choice allowed players to feel free with their explorations. Islands were also filled with legendary Pokemon where you had to progress through certain points in the area in order to unlock their presence. And the game followed a well put together story which allowed you to unlock new ways to take photos every time you reached a certain point in your journey. But the game wasn't just about taking the best photos you possibly could, it was more about enjoying the incredible animations that were available. And just as we thought our journey was coming to a close, Bandai Namco hit us with a free content update known as the so-called DLC. This DLC featured 3 new areas to explore, along with 20 new Pokemon in those areas. The areas were known as Secret Side Path, Mighty Wide River and Barren Badlands. There were multiple paths to uncover at each level, with the higher levels displaying Pokemon with rare behaviours that didn't previously exist. New mythical and legendary Pokemon were also uncovered, and my favourite discovery has to be the Zeraora. In order to unlock Zeraora's animation, you had to hit it whilst it was running off in the distance. This would trigger its fight with Tyranitar. And guys, look at how epic the animations are for this battle. The DLC was a perfect way to play more of the game without losing a buck, as it was completely free, and that is what made it great. In my opinion, we couldn't have asked for a better DLC, as they gave us more than we expected with top tier content, making it in my opinion one of the best, if not the best DLC Pokemon have ever given us. Let me know in the comment section below which Pokemon DLC you enjoyed, and this could be from any Pokemon game that exists.